Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 3 in Nashville. And it's called Music City Matrimony. And let's get into it. This is finally the last of the weddings. Y'all know we really waiting on the honeymoons, but we're going to get into it anyway. If you've been here already or if you haven't, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Y'all already know I'm trying to make it grow. So do me a solid, hit that subscribe button and be sure to like the video to push it through this crazy YouTube algorithm. All right, so we pick up where we left off with Eris. I think I was saying his name wrong the last time. With Eris' cousin, still trying to convince him not to go through with this. She don't want him walking down that aisle. Honey, he signed the contract. Move on. She want her camera time, and that's what I got from that. Anyway, Eris said, she got him fighting for his marriage already. He didn't even get married yet. And he's right. And he said, do you have anything positive to say? For me personally, like, sis, we was with you initially, but now you're doing a little too much. Like, you're doing the most, actually. She said, look, you said you love black women, so love that black woman down, all the way down. And yeah, that's it. That's all. So Jasmine says she's 32. She doesn't want to be 60 at her child's high school graduation. So that's why she's ready to do this. She done wasted her time, build another man up. So she's ready to finally have a win and it be her turn. I hope she meets somebody after this. I hope she meets somebody after this experiment is over. Because, baby, it ain't looking good. Not right now. I mean, I don't know. Could turn around. But right now, it ain't looking good. So Jasmine walks down the aisle. At first, Eris he like what he see. He clapping and everything. And then she get closer, and he's like, oh, you're tall. Already. He already starting to critique her already. She ain't had nothing negative to say about him. She could have been like, oh, he's short. You know, she had on heels, whatever. It's her wedding day. Like, she's tall, you're short. And what else? So Eris' family and friends mention that, he's a bad communicator, flag on the play, red flag. They kiss at the altar. So at this point, everybody's kissed at the altar besides old Miss Cheek over there. So, but he's been like avoiding eye contact with her. Like he'll make some, but it's like he's like trying to avoid it or something. I don't know if he's nervous or what. I mean, I know it's a lot with the cameras and this is a stranger, but look your wife in the eyes. So he did say after the ceremony, she's beautiful. Jasmine is impressed with her husband. And she was like, he's a little short, but I got on heels, so we probably about the same height. Eris tells her he's the only child, and he has only child syndrome. I grew up as an only child, okay? I grew up as an only child. Like, I got siblings later on in life when I was already full grown. So being as I was the only child for pretty much most of my life, I just could not stand when people would say that, like, oh, you're an only child. Oh, you're an only child. You have only child syndrome. Oh, that's why you're spoiled. Oh, you don't like to share. Don't be putting that on nobody. You don't know if that's how a person is just because they're only child. Just like when somebody say, oh, I'm the baby. Oh, you the baby. You the spoiled one. Like, stop with all this. Like, stop it. But he feeding right into it. Okay, you're only child syndrome, or you're a Peter Pan syndrome, a boy that in a man's body that don't want to grow up. But I digress. So, anyway, I think it's a myth. But she tells him she has a dog breeding business. And, he's like, oh, how many dogs you have? She said 4 dogs. We're going to get into it later on. Let's keep going. So it's time for McKinley and Dominique. And I really kind of want to fast forward past these two. Really, because of Dominique. It's her pretending to be so mature and everything that's just like grinding my gears. But McKinley said he's ready to meet his future baby mom. Can we not? Like, she's going to be your wife. Okay. And mother of your children, if y'all make it there. Dominique's friends say she's ready for this. Even though she's young, she's so mature, we don't see it. Dominique's mom says she wants grandbabies. Like, goodness, man, can you let her get that? You rushing her to get married? You rushing for these grandbabies? Sis is only 25. Only 25. Honey, I wish I would have waited. Listen, don't be rushing her because you want grandbabies for your own selfish reasons, mama. So she says she'll give it a year. Dom says wait 3. Let's see if we make it past the 8 weeks. Okay. But especially, child, if y'all looked at them previews when they was up there on decision day, notice we ain't see Dominique nor McKinley sitting on that couch. And why they keep sitting outside? Is that like the new thing now? Or I don't know. So it's time for the wedding. And on an after party, McKinley said that his mom had offered him $50K not to go through with this, like the day before. Man, we should have did it like a week or two before. You should have did it 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks before, because again, he signed that dotted line. He's in it now. I may have taken the money, but I mean, you don't want to breach the contract, so yeah. Dom said her mom prayed. This is her first and last marriage. She has a really pretty smile, but I don't know about it being her first and last marriage. I don't think she's ready. I just don't. And it's still early. So I'm going to put that disclaimer in there. It's early. We don't know yet. But right now, not that all 25-year-olds are this way, because I felt like I was ready at 25. But I just don't think she's ready, period. Side note, her mama's new husband looked like he about McKinley's age. I see you, Mama. So they say their vows, and afterwards he mentions babies again. He ready, but yeah, he don't have no home, but he ready for some babies. Dominique says she's been in Nashville since the age of 7, so she's basically a native. I saw somewhere somebody was complaining that she said she was basically a native because she wasn't born there, so it's like you got to be born and raised. I feel like she's basically a native. She's been there since she was 7, and she's 25. She grew up there. She went to school there, high school, learned how to drive there, did everything there. All her life experiences, pretty much as far back as she can remember, were in Nashville. So she's a Nashville native in my eyes. I didn't see the big deal in that. But, you know, people just want to, you know, we got to have something to critique. I didn't think that was a big deal, though. I don't like when people are like, yeah, I'm from, you know, let's say they're from a rough area, like, oh, I'm from Chicago, or I'm from, Compton in LA or something. And it's like, oh, well, how long did you live there? Like, oh, we moved when I was 4. Like, baby, you ain't from there. You was born there, but honey, you ain't from there. Like, anyway, I feel the opposite, actually. Like, no, you are not a native if you didn't grow up there, in my opinion. So when Dominique said she's 25, the look on Mac's face changed. He was like, 25? What? But it's like, you said you date younger, so they gave you younger. And she was saying, like, yeah, she wanted someone older. Like, that's what she normally goes for. But why doesn't it last? Why? So he said he feels like he's still 25. You should sleep on your friend's parents' couch. Next, we go back to Nicole and Chris. They're taking pics, and she feels, really comfortable around him. She's like, oh, do you mind me touching you? And he reassures her and all that. Ooh, I done spilled some water on my notes, y'all. Let's struggle through this. Dominique's mom tells McKinley she's his bonus mom. Ma'am, that would be mother-in-law. Bonus mom is a term of endearment for like a stepmom, mother-in-law, whatever. Dominique said that she's always smiling. If she's not smiling, that's a problem. McKinley says he feels like it's all green flags. Really? Because I wasn't even getting like he was interested. Like he didn't even really seem like he likes her after she said she was 25. But maybe I was looking too deep into it. Gina and Clint are at dinner, and they think they'll be going to the Bahamas on their honeymoon. Clint says, he could sail anywhere, so when he talks about sailing, he's excited. But when Gina talks about her business, her entrepreneurship, her workload and her work ethic, he looking like he over it and rolling his eyes. Now, granted, she was talking about work a lot, like womp da womp 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 womp. But just like she was listening to you talking about selling them boats, I'm sure she could care less about. Show the same interest. But yes, Gina, we got to know you outside of Gina, the hair salon owner / hairdresser. What else? But it's the first night. Like, if it was weeks on end and she kept doing it, then okay. It's the first night. Like, goodness, Clint. So Jasmine and Eris pray over their meal, and I like that. She confesses that she's breeding 9 puppies right now. So in total, it's actually 13 dogs altogether. What's that? It's actually 13 dogs altogether. When he said dogs, he was including puppies the first time, sis. I don't know. That's too much. That is too much. Like, he like, look, he ready to call the people on her. He ready to call the people on her. He think that she doing that, it shouldn't even be legal to do that. And I'm with him. A dog is one thing. Every time we gotta have a dog. But 13? I don't think she should have qualified for the show because she got too many dogs. So we see Shaq and Kirsten. And they vibing now, but it's giving friend zone heavy. Nicole is talking to Chris down, she's talking him down at dinner. Ain't letting him get a word in edgewise. Kirsten's friend puts emphasis on the fact that it's not Kristen, it's Kirsten. And you better get it right. Kirsten, not Kristen. So the brides and grooms are meeting with each other's families. Shaq speaks to Kirsten's friends and family and say, like, he's saying all the right things, pretty much. And they feel like, okay, you giving the good politician answers, like you saying all the right things, but, I mean, we don't know. We got to fill you out, like, too soon to tell. And it seemed like Jasmine's, Era's family was saying the same thing about Jasmine. Like, okay, well, you saying all the beauty pageant answers, but, like, what's the real? Like, I don't know. Well, that was that cousin of his, the one who's iffy about everything. Y'all keep saying like she giving play cousin who really want him. He said on the after party that's his first cousin. Like their parents are siblings. Like I don't think she's giving like, oh, I want him energy. I think she giving like she don't trust nothing energy. She question everything. Sometimes things are just, you got to take people at face value. Like just who they present them. I know everybody got their representative on. It's the first day. Sometimes who they present is who they are. Like Nicole. That's what I'm getting. She gonna talk the whole way through. So, but his cousin seemed like she leery at everything. So McKinley's mom tells Dom she was not in support of this. Who wants to hear that at the wedding day? Like, my goodness. Like, okay, thanks. I know that you didn't want this. His sister, fortunately, was. Because she was like, even back in the day, they had arranged marriages. Now, the arranged marriages back in the day was a little different. Okay, I think Nicole's dad or somebody, I think it was Nicole's dad who was like, look, back in the day when it was arranged, the families knew each other. So it wasn't like you wasn't completely blind, like, oh, I'm just walking in blind. Y'all knew each other. It was just like, look, I know y'all four, but y'all getting married one day. That's what type of time it was on. So, but his mom did, Dom was basically like, look, I want somebody who likes me basically likes me for being a biracial woman. His mom didn't confirm if race was an issue or not. She was just like, well, marriage is hard. Ma'am, what that mean? I got my eye on you, lady. I don't know. So, Dom's mom asked McKinley if race would be an issue for his family. He said it's not. But Dom's mom was like, look, you nice, but even Jeffrey D was nice. That don't mean anything. Like, you can be nice, but so what? Mama, you signed her up. You signed her up for this. She didn't sign up for this. You signed her up for this, and she went through with it. So what are we talking? Like, did the producers tell her to say this? The producers must be behind this. That didn't even make no sense. Eris asked Jasmine's family if she's a good communicator, even though he's not. They said she doesn't like confrontation. And he said he's never been in a serious relationship or lived with a woman besides his mama. Plus, he's the only child. He keeps throwing that up, that he like his space, pretty much. Whoo, them flags went from red to on fire, honey. They red hot. So, there's some filler scenes going on. Gina's friends question Clint about the plans for the night. Basically, they want to know if they're going to get into it. I can't stand. Like, I know the producers make the families ask them that because it's every season. I think that's been going on since like even the earlier seasons, and it's uncomfortable. Stop getting into their bedroom business. These is grown folks. They're married. If they want to, they want to. Like, I wish I would be out there. My mom would be like, well, y'all gonna consummate the marriage tonight? I don't think you should. Like, don't even be asking me about this. What? So, Mr. 65 Women said nothing's happening tonight. Nicole's dad grills Chris. Shaq, he rolling his hips, giving Kirsten a lap dance on the dance floor. I don't know if she liked it or not, because they still giving friend vibes to me. The family and friends are, asking the usual producer-led questions like we just talked about consummating of the marriage. And pretty much everybody, for the most part, said they'll wait. Besides Eris. I think Nicole and Chris If anybody's going to do it tonight, I think it should be Nicole and Chris because they've waited for each other. They were intentional about this process. You know what I'm saying? They weren't doing it 2 weeks ago with somebody else and wasting somebody else's time. They were serious about the process. And so, I mean, it's been years. I wouldn't be mad at it, honestly. I wouldn't care. So Jasmine said Eris is a 9.5. She had to take off the 0.5 because, ain't nobody perfect. I said 9.5? Girl, you giving a lie. Okay. I don't know. He don't look bad, but it's his personality. Like, he just need to grow up for me, personally. Eris rates her as an 8. But his friends basically convinced him to change his mind. Like, oh my gosh, you said 8 on camera about your wife. Like, because one of them was like, my wife a 10. Like, and then he changed it to a 10. No, I don't want you to have to be convinced or swayed. If you think she an 8, you think she an 8. Jasmine tells her friends she may give up the good. She's like, I'm not doing it tonight. It's the first night. We don't know each other. I may do it on the honeymoon. And her friend was like, okay, but that's 2 days from now. Like, girl, what? So she's like, we're going to be there for a little while. It might not be the first night of the honeymoon, but it's going to be this week. Okay. So Aaron's friends asked, like, what if she says, oh, tonight we can do whatever you want. Like, you can have whatever you like. What would you say? Aaron said he would tell her, get on your knees. I want to throw up in my mouth. That is so... You do not know this lady. And then why are you... Even if you were in a long-term relationship with somebody and y'all was getting married, why would you be saying that to your friends? Like, I think that is so disrespectful. Like, he put a bad taste in my mouth with that. I ain't like that. So Kirsten tells her girl she's upset that Shaq didn't ask for a kiss, even though she gave him the cheek due to him having a bald head. Kirsten, I want to like you. Don't do this. Please don't do it. Don't do it. So Shaq's friends tell him to get out of the friend zone. Like, don't be too nice now that you put yourself in the friend zone. Please listen to your friends, Shaquille. Chris and Nicole are in the room after the wedding. He sweeps off her feet, puts her in a room. And they're talking about their dogs and basically saying that their dogs sleep all over the place. Yuck. I don't like animals in the bed and stuff. Like, with me, I don't want all that fur. So, like, you got your own dog bed in your own space and I got mine. Okay? Like, please don't get in the bed with me. Because he's talking about, she's like, he can sleep in my chest, my head, in the kitchen, on the counter. What? And he like, well, my dog got to sleep on the left. So then they kiss. He kisses her. And she's like, ooh, talking about our dogs got you all hot and bothered, huh? I was like, wait. But yeah, they get ready for bed and they're real pajamas. They ain't get no pajamas for the first night. They ain't buy nothing special, honey. They got the pajamas they had in their dressing, threw them things on and got ready for bed. So we will see. We're finally going on the honeymoons next week. Thank goodness. Enough is enough. Like, enough of the weddings. Don't care. Let me know what y'all are thinking down in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check out my other content. And I will see you guys for the next one. Bye.